For over 3 years, I have been working at Marco Depot gas station in North Carolina. I haven't heard anybody win more than $5,200 in lottery ticket. So when I saw Mr. Mike rushing through the door, screaming, I won, I thought he was joking. Mike is a regular customer. He works at the local nuclear plant, and I have known him as long as I have been working here. He's a very nice man, goofy and funny guy that likes to flirt with younger women. He thinks he's a player, but we just make fun of him. I enjoy when he comes around though, because he makes my day. He was always asking for me or my friend's number, and I would politely shut him down. Playfully most of the time. I usually ask him about his wife. I am a 26-year-old female, and Mike is a 53-year-old male, and I have seen him with his wife a couple of times around town. When Mike comes around my store in the morning to get his coffee and donuts, he normally asks me about my girlfriend that he saw me with one time. I would always try to shame him by asking him about his wife, and we would laugh about it, nothing serious. But I never told my girlfriend about it because I thought Mike was a silly, horny old man. But everything changed one very morning. That morning, Mike came to my gas station like he routinely does before he goes to work. He bought his donuts and coffee and didn't forget his extreme $1 million scratch-off ticket. As usual, he would stay in the corner and scratch off the ticket, trying to get my attention, but I would ignore him while I attend to other customers. Normally, I would try to make small talk with him when I'm not busy. I would normally try to give him compliments, just to make him feel good about himself every morning. So that morning, after he scratched off the ticket, he didn't win anything as usual. But that day, I playfully suggested that he should try the new Ultimate Million that recently bumped up to $10 million. I picked out the ticket and gave it to him. He paid for it and hurried out the door because he was running late for work. Thinking he was gone, I continued to attend the register. All of a sudden, Mike stormed back into the gas station screaming, I won. I didn't believe him till I saw the ticket. To my surprise, Mike has won $10 million. I was so happy for him, you would think that I won too. All the customers that were in the gas station had like this shocking look on their faces. Before Mike heads out the door, I took his phone and typed my number in it. So I can have his number as well. I called it because I knew I may never see him again. That evening, I was watching the local news with my girlfriend. Let's call her Amanda. Her boyfriend and my baby daddy were present as well. Mr. Mike and his wife were holding a huge $10 million check. I couldn't stop talking about how I was the one that chose the ticket for him. In my eyes, that moment, Mr. Mike changed from a goofy old man to an urban legend. I mean, how many people can say that they know a millionaire? When my baby daddy and my girlfriend's boyfriend left, I told my girlfriend how much he was drooling all over her the first time he saw her, and how he has been asking for an introduction. At first, Amanda was dismissive about it, saying that Mr. Mike is older than her father, plus she has a boyfriend. Even though she was dismissive, I can still sense she was flattered that he showed interest towards her. I was sure that he must have changed his number because I knew that someone that suddenly got rich would be receiving calls from distant relatives and friends, especially when he's getting as much publicity as Mr. Mike is getting. I decided to reach out to him that night. Maybe he haven't changed his number yet. I sent him a flirty message and a picture of me and my girlfriend together. To my surprise, he responded immediately. I asked him if he was going to get another number, and he responded that he just got a new number and would be sending it to me. I was kind of surprised at the speed at which he was responding to my messages, even though his wife was with him. I decided to ask him if he would be able to meet up with me and my girlfriend the following night, and he agreed. He canceled, however, and we couldn't get him to reschedule. 2 days later, I called him, but he didn't respond to my call. So I thought he probably changed his number again. From what I read in the newspapers, he had 2 options to collect his winnings. Take $10 million annuity that spreads to 20 payments of $500,000 a year, or a single check of $6 million. According to the papers, he preferred to take a lump sum, which ended up being $4,159,101. I saw him as the one that got away, and my opportunity to have a millionaire friend was gone. I went back to my daily routine working at the gas station. Mr. Mike winning also brought a lot of customers to our gas station, which was most vexing. I am not getting paid by how many customers, but by the hours. Lots more customers were trying their luck at our gas station. About 2 weeks later, Mr. Mike showed up at my store to see me. To my surprise, I asked him where he's been and how he's been. He said he was passing by and decided to pay me a visit. He apologized for not being able to answer his calls, and I was able to get him to arrange to meet up the following night. Before he left, however, he gave me more than $2,000, which was a huge surprise to me. I was so happy that day. I was even shedding tears of joy because I really needed that money. The following night, I really didn't need much convincing for my friend to join me that night to meet up with Mr. Mike. I wasn't expecting any sort of relationship with him. I just wanted to make him happy and keep him around. At 23, my girlfriend is much younger than me, and I knew he was more into her. Moreover, I have a baby daddy that I was trying to get back together with. During our date that night, Mr. Mike was all over my friend. It was obvious that he adored her. I remember he spent over $500 that evening trying to impress us. To be honest, it wasn't all about the money to me, although it seemed like it. I have known Mr. Mike for about 3 years now, and his cheerful smiles leave me in good mood when I see him every morning. At this point, I genuinely wanted to be his friend. I left early that evening because I saw that he was kicking it off with Amanda. The following morning, Amanda told me that Mr. Mike wanted her to be his girlfriend, and she accepted. I asked her about her current boyfriend, and she dismissed him. I would later find out that Mr. Mike promised Amanda a car and promised to take care of her. That week, she quit her job that she recently got at the correctional office. Mr. Mike would go out of his way to shower her with money and gifts and everything she wanted. I reminded Amanda that he's married, but she didn't want to hear it. She would say that I knew that he was married when I introduced her to him, and she would accuse me of being jealous. My intention was just for them to have a fling, but I guess it's out of my control now. I didn't want to lose a friend, so I stopped bringing the issue up. About 3 months later, I was a little concerned about how Mr. Mike was spending his money. He bought an expensive car for himself and bought a lot of stuff for his relative. And also he bought expensive gifts for Amanda and myself. And he invested large sum of money on his wife's instructional design business. I knew eventually he would run out of money because he didn't know how to manage it. And it was like everybody was in a hurry to grab as much as they can before he runs out. The same time Amanda was having an affair with Mr. Mike, she was also seeing other guys. According to her, Mr. Mike was planning on leaving his wife for her. I warned Amanda to at least stop seeing all these guys that offers nothing to her since Mr. Mike is spending all those money on her. She would complain that he was possessive and controlling. I tried to explain to her that most men his age usually are controlling if they have a sugar baby that is sleeping with other guys, especially when he's spending all that money on her. He was even taking her to expensive hotels, trips to Mexico, and etc. I wasn't going out much at the time because I was pregnant. We slowly started losing touch because Amanda was growing distant and making new friends. She was feeling like she was better than me and sometimes barely responds to my calls. I would later stop calling her and mind my own business. Few months passed, Mr. Mike called me on my phone, angry, telling me to talk to my girlfriend and tell her to stop seeing other guys. Mr. Mike is an old school guy that didn't understand the hookup culture and young women these days, and Amanda is in the thick of it. She's a beautiful girl, and Mr. Mike was either not enough for her or she just enjoys the attention from other guys. Later on, they broke up because Amanda continued to sleep with other guys, and Mr. Mike wasn't giving her enough money. So after they broke up, Amanda went back to her old job. Few months or so later, we grew apart and weren't in touch, till one day when Amanda's mother called me asking me if I've seen her. I told her that I haven't spoken to Amanda in months, I called Mr. Mike and he wasn't picking up his phone, so I thought they may have run away together or something. I started getting worried when I found out that a missing report has been filed. Then later I was devastated to find out that she was found dead in a Best Western hotel at Charlotte with a gunshot wound at the back of her head. I heard in the news that the surveillance footage from the hotel showed Mr. Mike was the only person in the room with Amanda. They brought him in for questioning and he confessed to shooting Amanda while she was asleep after she has been texting with other men while at the hotel. I felt really guilty for bringing them together. I thought it was my fault, and not one day goes by that I don't think about Amanda. If it wasn't for the money, she would still be my friend till this day. Mike would be still making my day every morning, and I would still be enjoying his flirtatious attempts. At the end of the day, everybody lost. I lost a girlfriend, and the mother lost a daughter. I knew I shouldn't say this, but I do feel sorry for Mr. Mike. A man with his intellect shouldn't be allowed to own this type of money because he wouldn't know what to do with it. At the end, he's now serving a life sentence and have lost everything. He didn't even have enough money to pay his lawyer after not even 3 years of winning